It don't happen no okokobioko if na my people where they speak local dialect. Make una see wetin go on vomit from his mouth to period to his 90th birthday. The man say wetin you do to the Southeastern and to the Biafrans, the killings of the mothers and babies, staffing them and they die of kwashiorkor. Say he no even pain am, say he no regret am, say he dey good, say the thing happen to the Southeast because Southeast no dey hear word. Say even as in there now, say if they call him again, say make he return to the army now. Say the only assignment wey he go like carry now is to wipe out the Southeast. Now waiting Jack Yakubu Gowon present as his own personal message on his 90th birthday. I don't know what date he's still waiting for. I don't know where thunder is still. I don't know why thunder is still being delayed. That this kind of people should be allowed to be in existence in this modern world. And nobody sees anything bad about it. Nobody, even people are even clapping for them, including our fellow Igbo brothers, clapping for him where he's making these unguided statements. In other words, the enemies we are having today is enemy within. Because the people who are cheering him up is mostly Igbos. That is the more reason why he still have the mind to do what he did. But anyway, let us read the propaganda that the NigerianNews.com wrote just to suit the narrative of their paymasters. What I just told you now is the real news waiting Yakubu Gowon. The message they fly everywhere, maybe they don't delete them. Because people condemned it. Westerners condemned it. People who are not from Nigeria, most of African countries condemn the act. And they pray a very bad prayer for that man. I saw the video yesterday on X. But I tried to locate the video again so that I will play the voice here for people to hear. But it seems like they are putting the video down. But that is exactly what Yakubu Jack Gowon said. That if Ojukwu arise again, that Jack is going to also defeat Ojukwu the second time, according to Yakubu Gowon. And waiting he talk, and waiting at the bring come for my people this Sunday morning. You that is watching me, you that is hearing my voice, what do you think concerning this geographical expression called Zojiria? Let me know what you think at the comment section. Please, if you know any thunder where the thing there, I beg, invoke it. Because this is the time we needed the thunder most. I rest my case. Biafra Gowon narrates how Ojukwu twisted Abure Accord, what caused the civil war. This one is just what they wrote. When they take that video down, now they want to twist it. They want to lay the whole blame now on Ojukwu. Whereas he have already made his point very clear that he is happy he's about to wipe the Southeasterners. In another development, the Nigerian Army don't break silence on Chief of Army Staff Lagbaja's absence reveals people acting on his place. Lagbaja can never return. The Biafrans, the gods of our lands, all the people who are struggling, who are fighting for the struggle of the emancipation of Biafran people, all of them, I repeat, all of them have vowed that this man can never return home alive. You will begin to see the fruit of his labor. But the Biafra tells Nigerians what to expect as Tinubu returns to Nigeria. So over 15 months, Nigeria does not see any effect or fruits of what Tinubu is doing on his devilish economic policies. It's just only 2 weeks that he went for abroad. He come back now. Is he coming back with trillions of dollars? They're gonna tell us, maybe he don't go out there now, go and sell Nigeria, take the money. He will just use little now, put on the economy, and everybody will be jumping up. It seems like Tinubu has sold Nigeria. I beg, inform them on time so that they will know what to do. Just only 2 weeks is that, then Nigeria will begin to see the fruits of what over 16 or going to 17 months now he couldn't do. Chai. Chief of Army Staff Lagbaja is sick. Military generals lobby for his position. Hey. If Lagbaja ever return back alive, then just know that the Biafra gods don't collect bribe. I tell you the simple truth. Anyway, my people, now here we go start our news. So please like, share, comment, and make sure you keep subscribing to my channel for more interesting videos coming your way. A former military head of state, General Jack Yakubu Gowon, retired, has revealed what transpired before the Nigerian civil war between himself and former Biafra warlord Odumegwu Chukwuemeka Ojukwu. Okute News report that Gowon narrated what led to the war during an interview with daily trust to mark his 90th birthday. During the said interview, Gowon restated his belief in a united Nigeria, stressing that he does not regret his actions during the civil war. On Ayaram, asked by interviewer about what actually transpired between him and Ojukwu in Aburi, Ghana, Gowon narrated, "Well, Ojukwu used to say, on Aburi we stand, and I would say, from Aburi you will fall." He declared war and waged war against the Southeasterners, not Ojukwu. The story of Aburi is that we had been trying everything to be able to meet in Nigeria to resolve all the unfortunate things that happened. The killings and all the Katakata after the January 15 coup. I was to go to Ibadan the following day, but I was informed that I could not go because there was a reception for officers coming into the brigade. Officers like me being posted to that brigade and others from the brigade being posted out. There was a reception by the brigade commander for officers like me and others, and I had to attend on that Friday night to ensure that I did the correct thing in that unit. So that evening I went for the reception, and when it ended, I moved to Ikeja to stay for the night. Unfortunately, late that night there was commotion. I was wondering what it was, but nobody told me anything, and I was to take over the battalion the following morning. Then there was movement of troops and vehicles in the unit. After some time, it dies down. But after another 2 to 3 hours, there was greater movement and commotion, and I was wondering what was happening. There was a brigade calling all the troops to a master parade. I was wondering and looking through the window to see what was happening. Luckily, I saw one of the officers, the adjutant of the unit, Captain Martin Ademo, now late. He later became a general. I saw him passing by the duplex, a temporary quarter that I used to stay since the commanding officer's residence was not ready yet for occupation. I asked what was happening, but they wouldn't say anything, so I decided to go down and find out. When I met him and asked what the commotion was about, he said General Agu Ironsi, who was the general officer commanding, came and told them that there was some crisis in town affecting the Prime Minister, Tafawa Balewa, and Okotie Ebo, the Finance Minister, and he had come to seek some assistance to see if he could deal with the problem. My first reaction was, why Ironsi? Why not the brigadier? Because the chain of command should have come through him. Ironsi should have told the brigadier, who would have related to the battalion commander. However, I asked where he was, and they said he was at the master parade area. So I had to change into civil clothes to see what was happening. When we got there, he briefed me saying that he wanted some units to be prepared so that they could go and deal with the situation. When he finished, he asked if there were questions. I did not know that by that time all the senior officers from my school, May Malari, Ku Mohammed, Abuba Baladima, Yakubu Pam, had been killed. One of my good friends, Ato Unegbe from Ozoboro, was also killed, and I didn't know. I went and I got the quartermaster to get me some military uniforms, boots, hats, etc., and I went into town. Luckily enough, we were able to deal with the coup in Lagos, but in Kaduna, they succeeded in killing the premier, his wife, and other officials. They were certainly in command, but at least in Lagos, which was the headquarters, we were in charge. I was able to get all the other units to make sure that at least they did not go along with what had just happened. That was how I got involved. I tried to get things under control. However, it got to a stage when the leadership could not do anything to put things right. But we tried to see if we could meet within the country. Of course, Ojukwu said that with what happened, he could not be sure of his safety. He asked if we could also go to the east or Midwest which was supposed to be neutral, for a meeting since the whole thing seems to be North versus East. We got one of the British Airways aircraft for us to meet in their A on one of the British naval ships. Every effort was made, both by Nigerians and the British, for us to meet, but in the end, we had to agree to meet in Aburi. That was where it all started, according to Jack Yakubu Gowon. I think we went there early January, and as far as I am concerned, we were going for that meeting so that we could agree as military officers. When I went and I did not take my secretary to the government and officials like advisors, but of course, Ojukwu had a different intention, so he came with all his advisors and prepared a memorandum, which he wanted to be the solution to the problem, as if we were to do an agreement in a class. I said no. I joked with him and I said he came with a pink solution paper. At our training in senior courses, students wrote on a white paper, but the staff had another green paper or something, and the solution paper was usually pink. It was from his paper that he was reading all the conditions, things he wanted done. We discussed them. We had 2 days there. The agreement was that when we got back, I will be the one to make a statement on the areas we agreed on. Unfortunately, I was down with a very serious fever, and honestly, I could not do anything. As soon as Ojukwu got back, he made a statement on what was agreed. I had not seen the document he was using. He made a statement that we had agreed to part or something like that. And early in the morning, David Ejo called to tell me what Ojukwu had done. I was still on a sick bed. I asked if that was what we agreed, and he said no. That was how the confusion started. Of course, when I got better, we disagreed because that was not the agreement. We were going to discuss most of these things in Nigeria. However, that did not happen. So we had to ensure that something was done. Ojukwu then started doing all sorts of things, disobeying federal government instructions, taking over government revenues, all the rolling stock from Port Harcourt, and hijacking the Nigerian Airways aircraft, etc. A lot of things were happening. Security-wise, people were disappearing, etc., and the fault was to put on northern soldiers. The information was that there were some elements among the recruitment made at that time. There were some bad eggs using the opportunity of being in the military to settle scores. Ojukwu said his constituent assembly said he could break away to form Biafra. From some of the intelligence I was receiving, it was just a step to the next thing. That was when I created a state of emergency and 12 states to make sure that no region in Nigeria was marginalized, because there was the fear of a monolithic north and the minority group in the east. Bidiye, Briggs, and others did not want to go along with the agreement given to Ojukwu. They personally came to me several times. I created 12 states to make sure that no place is too big or too small to threaten the unity of the country. Lagos State was made up of Lagos Central, Egbe, Ikeja, and Badagry. That was for the old colony of Lagos to become a state of its own. That was probably one of the reasons that after the Civil War, the security situation made us to think of establishing a new capital in Abuja, so that at least the federal government and the state would not stay in one place. We knew that Lagos was going to remain the commercial capital of the country, as well as the engineer of national activities. Chagari was my commissioner for finance, and one of the instructions I left for him was that when they were doing the budget, he should make sure that he had some money kept for planning and building the infrastructure of the future capital of Nigeria in Abuja. Not that I did not want to return the country to democracy, but when I was about to do it, politicians had started going to each other. You can remember the popular statement, if you tackle me, I double. If you tackle me, I double you. If you double me, I tackle you. Honestly, I did not want a sort of a situation reflective of what happened before the first coup. I don't know what version you had, but in the end, we had to meet in Benin. Me and all the governors at the time to discuss the Aburi agreement and put it in the true context. We invited Ojukwu to be there, but he did not come. The only thing I included, which will probably made him not to accept it, was that there was no chance for any part of the country to succeed without the agreement of 2/3 of the members of the group. But as soon as we left, Ejo told me that Ojukwu came to find out what it was. Moving forward, Nigerian Army don't break silence. Who say the Chief of Army Staff? Hey, say he don't depart. The Nigerian Army has assured the public that there is no leadership vacuum within the service, despite the ongoing officials' leave of the Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Labaja. In a statement released on Saturday, the Director of Army Public Relations Officer, Major General Onyama Nwachukwu, clarified that Major General Abdul Salam Ibrahim, the Chief of Policy and Plans, Army, has been designated to act on behalf of the Chief of Army Staff during Labaja's absence. Major General Nwachukwu emphasized that the necessary protocols are in place to ensure the seamless operation of the Army. He said there have even been insinuations that there is a leadership vacuum, with officers confused about what to do. Nothing could be further from the truth. To be very clear, the Nigerian Army is a highly structured establishment, well laid out procedures and processes for dealing with different circumstances. Before proceeding on leave, necessary protocols were put in place for the Chief of Policy and Plans, Major General Abdul Salami Bagudu Ibrahim, to act on behalf of the Chief of Army Staff while he was away. This is not peculiar to the Nigerian Army, as there have been instances where unforeseen human frailty kept service chiefs away for about 3 months, and their chiefs of policy and plans elsewhere in their absence. Claims of a leadership vacuum in the Nigerian Army at present are therefore mere speculations, as all routine and scheduled activities of the service are on course. Explaining that the Chief of Army Staff absence has not stirred promotions for officers, Onyema added that the result of the captain to major promotion exam had been released following the approval of the Chief of Policy and Plans. He said, indeed, in line with his forecast of events for 2024, the Nigerian Army recently conducted the captain to major practical promotion exam in Akure. Subsequently, and in line with the exact or extant procedures, the Commander of Training and Doctrine Command, Major General Kevin Alibe, announced the result after due authorization by the Chief of Policy and Plans, who currently represents the Chief of Army Staff during his absence on leave and medical chief up abroad. Additionally, the Master Warrant Officer to Army Warrant Officer promotion exercise is currently ongoing in Jos. This follows a similar exercise held for Warrant Officer to Master Warrant Officer. In Kaduna, the result of these exercises are expected to be released in the coming days, pending final reconciliation between the respective corps and the Army Headquarters Department of Personnel Management. Also, contrary to the insinuations that the COS, the Chief of Army Staff's absence due to his leave, has caused undue delays in the release of WO and MWO promotion exercise results, Onyema clarified that it has never been the practice for the Chief of Army Staff to personally sign posting or promotion for officers and soldiers in the Nigerian Army. The appropriate department chief performs these functions routinely. These departmental chiefs, demonstrating their unwavering commitment, are fully carrying out their responsibilities in line with the Chief of Army Staff Command philosophy. The Army Headquarters therefore enjoins the general public to remain confident in the Nigerian Army and be assured that the service remains on top of the security situation in country and is ever ready to defend Nigeria against any aggressions on its land territory, he added. The last but not the least, You will begin to see the fruits of his labor. Gbajabiamila tells the Nigerians period to Tinubu's return to Nigeria. The chief of staff to the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Femi Gbajabiamila, has told Nigerians to expect to see the fruits of his boss's labor following his return to the country. Okuta News report that President Tinubu returned to Nigeria on Saturday after long week of vacation abroad. Speaking about the trip, Gbajabiamila told newsmen at the airport after welcoming Tinubu back to the country that the president needed to take a rest as a result of the works he's been doing for the past 1.5 years. The chief of staff assured that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is back in Nigeria with well rejuvenated and ready to continue from where he left off in terms of putting policies in place, making sure things are done, and the country moves in the right direction. Story for the gods. The kind of work he's been doing in the last year and a half requires some rest, and he is gone on his back. And now he is well arrested, rejuvenated again. It was even just a working holiday anyway. So he was working and resting at the same time. Now that he is back in Nigeria, all hands are back on deck and he is ready to go. Just to continue from where he left off in terms of putting policies in place and making sure things are done right. Making sure we are going in the right direction. He is the captain of the plane and he is working to get a cruising level, which is exactly where we are going. In a matter of time, Nigerians will begin to see the fruits of his labor and our labor, and so, just let's be we all expectant and hopeful. We live in renewed hope, and the so-called president is back in Nigeria to continue the good work he has been doing. So my good people, now here I go take leave on now. Make on continue liking, sharing, commenting, and make sure that this video goes viral. Gowon plans to assassinate more Igbos as we proceed. Kemesiano.